Hi, I'm Kern Brantley, bass player for Lady Gaga, and you're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.
Hi everyone, John Liebman here. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com, coming to you on location today from the Warwick and famous world headquarters, Markneukirchen, Germany, with our own friend and my fellow Detroiter, Kern Brantley. What's up, Kern?
Hey, what's up, John? Great to see you here.
Great to see you, and we had the privilege of hearing and seeing you play last night, and it was bad and it was funky. I was looking at the last interview that we did on ForBassPlayersOnly.com, and I was surprised to see that that was in 2012, which was a while ago already. So we got the whole cool story about your musical upbringing in Detroit and your very brave mother who bought all those drums and guitars and amps and everything for the family of 10 kids.
Yeah.
So, boy, that's probably a whole other interview that we can do in the story about that.
Sure.
But let's kind of bring us up to date on where we left off. You played with everybody from Beyonce to Mary J. Blige to Grover Washington Jr. to the Winans, the Clark sisters, and since 2010, I believe you told me, you've been the bass player with Lady Gaga. So, in general, or give us some highlights of what's been happening in your musical and your bass career since we last spoke way back in 2012.
Wow. Well, since then, I've actually been in the studio recording with P. Diddy, Sean Combs, and he has a new record out called MMM, which stands for Money Making Mitch. So I'm on about maybe 6 or 7 songs on that, and that was a great session, a great process. He had a lot of amazing musicians. He flew us all out to L.A., and we just recorded for like a week straight of just recording samples over and adding bass line, and I even played some keyboard bass on the record as well.
Now, I mentioned that we're at the Warwick headquarters, and you are a Warwick artist. You play Warwick bass. Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you like about Warwick? Why do you play them? I imagine a player of your stature can play just about anything you want. So why Warwick?
And well, actually, my very first Warwick I bought in Fraser, Michigan, at Hubert and Brees.
Hubert and Brees.
I was just there and I was checking out basses and I saw this Warwick thumb bass and I said, man, this is an amazing bass. And I played it and it was a 5-string. And what I like about Warwick, the low B string, it has a really solid and even tone. It's not flabby sounding. So I actually saved up my money because it was a kind of expensive bass for me, and I saved my money and I got it, and that was my very first Warwick bass, and I've just been kind of loving those basses ever since.
It's funny, I interviewed somebody yesterday here at the Warwick Bass Camp, and he made that very same comment about the low B and how it's better than the low B on a lot of other 5-string and 6-string basses. What else about the Warwick bass, about the way it plays and about the electronics or the sound or anything else you can share with us?
I love the body design because it has a smaller body design, so it kind of fits, it kind of curves your body. It has like a little dip here for your tummy, so it kind of fits your body. And I also liked it was a one-piece neck through bass, and it was the wood was so beautiful on it, and it was just really solid sounding instrument, and I used it in the studio on a couple recordings, and it was awesome as well. So Warwick is just a solid bass, and their slogan was "Sound of the Wood." So that's what I really like is the sound of the wood. To me, each Warwick bass has its own distinct sound. I have like maybe 5 or 6 Warwick basses, and all of them have their own different sound. So that's what I liked about it.
And what about amps? When you use an amp, what do you play it through?
Right now I'm using TC Electronics amplifier, a great company from here in Europe as well, and very nice people. I've been Nathan East is also over there.
That's right.
So that kind of, when I saw Nathan playing it, I said, wow, he has such a great tone. I kind of want to kind of get a similar tone to Nathan. I really love his playing so much.
Yeah, he's a great player. What else is keeping you busy? You mentioned something to me the other night and again this morning about something cool in the city of Detroit. And Detroit needs lots of cool things. There are a lot of cool things happening in Detroit, but I didn't know about this new one until you told me. So why don't you share that with the folks?
Okay, the Detroit Historical Museum is putting on an exhibit coming up in October, which is featuring the sidemen and the people that play behind the artists in Detroit and around the world. and I was selected as one of the musicians to be a part of that exhibit at Detroit Historical Museum. So that's going to be a great opportunity for me as well. My brother Valdez Brantley, who's a musical director for Usher for 12 years, he's also going to be featured in that exhibit. So it's going to be fun to be working with my brother.
Well, that's quite an honor. Detroit, as I don't have to tell you, has such a rich musical heritage, so it's great anytime we see that kind of recognition. What about the future? What else is coming up for you, Kern? What else are you working on or thinking about doing, or what else have you always wanted to do that you just haven't gotten around to yet?
Well, right now I'm working on Detroit Bass Day, which you were there, thank you, last year. And it's where all the bass players in Detroit get together. Next year, we're going to do a thing I want to do called Return of the Detroit Legends. And I want to bring home all the bass players that are made it from Detroit that don't live there anymore, like Nate Watts and Byron Miller and Alex Al and Al Turner. Yep. So I'm trying to get together to bring all those guys back for one day of just Detroit bass players having a great.
Did you mention Ron Carter?
Oh, and Ron Carter, yes. Can't forget him.
Michael Henderson.
Yeah, Reggie McBride.
That's right.
Whichever ones I can get in touch with and that are willing to come back, that would be great to see them there. And Ralph Armstrong has always been a big part of the Detroit bass player scene. And
it'd be nice to see some kind of honor for Paul Chambers and for some of the other.
Maybe we should sit down and talk some ideas.
All right, let's do it. Okay. Do you have any advice for wannabe bass players or musicians, because you've been on the scene for a while and it's changed a lot? It's not like it used to be. It's not like there are sessions like there used to be. It's not like they're the same kind of gigs, and touring has taken on a whole different perspective. Yeah. Well, what do you say to the young people, or maybe the not so young people, the aspiring musicians in general and the aspiring bass players in particular?
Well, I say definitely, first of all, you should make sure you pick the right instrument, an instrument that's easy to play and an instrument that fits you and fits your personality and fits your hand and body size. You know, that's why I chose Warwick, because it's just a great instrument. So I always tell guys, make sure whatever, important to have a great instrument and your amplification as well. That helps a lot. And then, be willing to get up and leave Detroit, go out to New York, go to LA, go to Atlanta, and just explore and just try to network with as many cats as possible, and as well as, just studying and working hard and practicing and all that good stuff.
Yes, and show up on time.
Show up on time. Don't be late. Don't be talking crazy.
Don't be a jerk.
Yep.
Yeah. All good advice. A lot of it is obvious, but it doesn't hurt to hear it once in a while, too. Well, Kern, it's great seeing you again. It's always great. And
great over here, man. I really appreciate Hans and the Warwick family for inviting me here, and this is my first trip to the Warwick factory, and this is an amazing place.
Yeah, so this is at least my third trip here, and I hope I'll be invited back too. On location in the Warwick and Framus World Headquarters, Markneukirchen, Germany, with our good friend Detroiter Kern Brantley. I'm John Liebman. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.